this was my original card, and I love this card. This was a nice card. I didn't have any problems with it at all. It was solid. It worked. Still works. Um, but I wanted to upgrade, and this is I guess my take on the upgrade or whatever. And overall, upgrade couldn't have been smoother. Like I liked I like my card. It's pretty nice. I got a 4070 or whatever, and I got the I guess the gaming OC model from Gigabyte. Yeah, I know. Everybody's bitching that everybody will bitch or whatever that the shit cracks or whatever. But at that rate, I have my 2070 Super. I bought it, I think like 4 or 5 months after it released, right before the GPU bang or whatever, where all GPUs were like freaking godly outrageous. Like I know at one time I looked up my card's price because I think I paid $550 for the 2070 Super. But after the crash, which was literally like I think like 2 months, I think I got so lucky it was 2 months after I bought my card, the GPU skyrocket, everything happened, and scalpers or whatever, and like my brother bought a 3060 Ti during the GPU shit, and he paid like $1,100 for that thing. Oh my god. Uh, but I only ended up paying I think I can't remember. I got like a little bit off though. I think it said like 6% off. Got it when it was on a deal or whatever on Amazon. But the 12 gigabytes of VRAM, I actually like. I really honestly could have think they could have been 16 in this one instead of the fucking 4060 Ti. But whatever. I mean, that was just marketing crap. And if you want more VRAM, you'll have to buy a 4080. But either way it goes, coming from 8 gigabytes, moving to 12, it's great. I love it. It's so much nicer than 8, but 8 really wasn't a problem for me because I only play in 1080p, and I believe it's only really in higher settings that kind of really rears its ugly head. But it does kind of matter for me because I do like 3D stuff and shit like that. And if you're trying to render or whatever, your VRAM does matter. So the upgrade is more than happy for me. Like I really wish it was 16, but what can you do? For more than 8, it's beautiful. So I mean, yeah, you could argue that I could go with AMD, but no. Big no. I'm not going with AMD, and I might do a video on it, but it's very anticlimactic, and it's just some. I mean, I can't deal with the AMD stuff. It just bothers me. Like, and I actually have a physical problem with it. It's not just that I hate it because it's AMD. Because the first graphics card I bought was AMD. I was going AMD all the way. AMD CPU, AMD graphics card. But after about a month of the graphics card, I hated it. It sucked so much balls. And I might do a video on that later, but it's gonna be so short. But let's get into some numbers. Alright, I'm just showing off my specs here, and the settings. I don't jack the settings up that high. I get them on mid, low, some high, some low. Really just depends. I don't really like to push it that hard. No point. I think it looks fine. But I like my frame rate just to keep a smooth, consistent frame rate or whatever. But going from 80 frames to 100 locked, nice. And I'd have to push my other one to get that 80. Alright, here we are on Halo Infinite. And I chose Big Team Battle because I remember my frame rates on Big Team Battle. I was getting close to like 118 frames, but it was fairly iffy because, it would go down to the lows or whatever. Now I can keep it locked 120. I mean, heck, I think in the menus I was sitting at like 300 and in the mid to high 300s. I know it's just a menu, but still, it's pretty nice. Alright, here we are in Cyberpunk. Showing off my settings. I'm not using frame generation. I'm just gonna run the benchmark. It's running just about everything on high, except for the crowd density, medium, and the ray tracing, medium. I guess for running high, I mean, the frame rates are not bad, like, close to, like, 79, 80, down to, like, lowest is 64 or something. This overall, it's not bad. Could be a little bit better, but not much you can do. Not much I can do. It's probably my CPU, really, because I've already found out in a couple things. Like if you look at if you go play Starfield, I was playing on my 2070 on the same rig, and then I switched over to my 4070, and I was getting the exact same frames. Didn't matter where I went, exact same frames. So on Starfield, I can at least think that it's CPU bound. You need a better CPU, not GPU, unless your GPU is suckier or something than that. But I don't know. Either way. And then also, I like to tweak. I got my fans tweaked to run fanless under 35, but when it goes above 35, fans start ramping up. Got everything dialed in. I think we're exactly where it's pretty nice, and I like how the card is a 3-stack card. It actually keeps it a lot cooler than my dual 2070 Super, which I'm overall happy with my. I think I should have got the 4070 Ti, but overall, I'm happy with this. Alright, for me, in conclusion, like, I'm happy with the upgrade coming from like 2 generations ago. I mean, it's a lot more performance than I was getting. Plus, the 3-stack card is cooler. I do like that. That is really nice. The card does stay a lot cooler overall. You can push it a little harder. But like I said, I don't really like to push my cards all that hard. I do 3D stuff, so I like to reserve it for that. I don't really play games on those high settings all that much. I was just doing that for demonstration purposes. And hell, honestly, the Resident Evil one, like I said, I'd have to push it, and by pushing it, I'd have to turn some of the settings down to like medium and other shit to get that 80 without having the fucking thing be all hot. But I mean, if you're thinking about upgrading, should go for it if you got the money. I mean, and I didn't even touch frame generation. I ain't touched frame generation yet. Technically, I ain't turned the setting on, but. And there's probably a few other settings that I ain't turned on, like resizable bar or whatever. I ain't turned that on either. But, like I say, I really don't play games too much. I do like 3D stuff, really. And I don't really notice it that much in the 3D applications right now. Unless I was to go to like render something that needs like more than like 8 gigs. But I'm not really doing that. If you watch any of my videos, you know that I'm doing like landscape shit right now or whatever. Building a landscape material function. But I will say, I do get like 120 frames in Unreal Engine just sitting there now. Like my 40 or 2070, I'd get 40 frames just sitting there with my character with the third person BP. And with the 4070, I get 120 frames. Now, in that aspect, like 40, 120, I mean, you're getting 80 more frames, I believe, if I'm doing the math correct. I believe I am. But you're getting 80 more frames overall in the terms of Unreal Engine 5. And that's where things are going. Because Unreal Engine 5 is technically the future or whatever. So, if you really want to stack yourself for performance for the long haul, pick you up a card or pick you up an AMD equivalent. I mean, I'm probably gonna do a video. There's like something else other than just the one thing that I didn't like about the AMD cards. But I think I'll do a video talking about AMD card. I mean, nobody's probably gonna watch the video anyways, but who cares? But I guess this was my like upgrade slash review. I guess I don't know. Probably wasn't much of a review. First time doing something like this, but like I said, overall nice. Take it easy. Have a good one. See you in the next one.